Hey everyone, we've got a packed update on one of the hottest names in sports right now, Caitlyn Clark. Whether you follow the WNBA religiously or just started tuning in because of her incredible performances, you know she's become the talk of the league. So let's dive into everything that's been going on around her, including a couple of wild controversies and her undeniable rise to stardom. First off, let's set the stage. The WNBA season is coming to a close, and Caitlyn Clark continues to dominate on the court. Just recently, she had an absolutely insane game where she scored 35 points in a crucial victory over the Dallas Wings. It was a performance that had fans buzzing, and while Kelsey Mitchell also put up an impressive 30 points in that game, the spotlight was definitely on Clark. That kind of game only cements what we've been seeing all season from this young phenom. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. ESPN writers just updated their votes for Rookie of the Year and All-WNBA team honors, and it's official. Caitlyn Clark has been voted Unanimous Rookie of the Year and also made first-team All-WNBA. Let that sink in for a moment. This is a massive accomplishment for a rookie, especially in a league that doesn't always give the most attention to young players right out of the gate. What's even crazier is that just 2 weeks ago, ESPN had her listed on the second team, which led to a lot of head-scratching and even some backlash from fans and analysts. People were asking, how can someone playing at such a high level be left off the first team? Well, it seems like ESPN finally came to their senses and made the right call. Had they stuck with the second team vote, the backlash would have been huge, and the dragging online would have been off the charts. But while Caitlyn is getting the praise she deserves now, not everyone has been on board with her rise. That brings us to one of the biggest controversies surrounding her, comments made by Kennedy Carter. If you don't remember, Carter, who's known for her aggressive style on the court, had a pretty intense moment earlier in the season. During a game against the Chicago Ska, she collided with Caitlyn Clark in a move that some compared to a football tackle. It was that brutal. After the game, Carter didn't hold back and made a comment that's still echoing across the sports world. She said, "Besides three-point shooting, what does Caitlyn Clark bring to the table?" Yeah, you heard that right. Carter basically implied that Clark is a one-dimensional player, which is a take that has aged incredibly poorly. Clark's been putting up historic numbers, not just from beyond the arc but across the board. Points, assists, you name it. That comment is now being called one of the worst takes in sports history. Some are even saying it's going to go down as a legendary example of someone completely underestimating a generational talent. And it's not just fans who are calling Carter out. Many analysts, both inside and outside the WNBA, have pointed out that Carter's remarks were not only disrespectful but flat out wrong. If you look at Caitlyn Clark's impact on her team and her ability to both score and create opportunities for others, there's really no question about what she brings to the table. She's arguably the biggest offensive threat in the league right now, and no other player is defended as intensely as she is. Coaches have been openly saying that their main goal is to stop Caitlyn at all costs. That tells you everything you need to know about her dominance on court. Let's not forget that while Carter's comments have aged poorly, the media also had a role in downplaying Caitlyn Clark's impact earlier in the season. For example, just a couple of weeks ago, ESPN had Angel Reese ranked above Clark in their power rankings. Angel Reese is a great player, no doubt. But since the Olympic break, Caitlyn has been absolutely crushing it, and the narrative has finally started to shift in her favor. Speaking of Angel Reese, it's interesting to note that her team, the Chicago Sky, has been struggling ever since they tried to make her the focal point of their offense. At one point, the records for the Sky and the Indiana Fever were almost identical, but now the Sky find themselves on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff race. And while it's not fair to put all the blame on one player, it does make you wonder if focusing so much on Reese was the right move. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark has not only kept her team competitive, but has also raised the bar for what we expect from a rookie. As we wrap things up, let's talk about the future. Caitlyn Clark is more than just a great rookie. She's on track to become one of the biggest stars in American sports, period. Some people are even saying she's already the most popular athlete in the country right now. Think about it. When was the last time you saw this much buzz around a WNBA player? It's a testament to her talent and the excitement she brings to the game. Whether you're a hardcore WNBA fan or someone who's just started paying attention because of her, there's no denying that Caitlyn Clark is a must-watch player. Looking ahead, the question is, can she win the MVP in the near future? While Ajay Wilson seems to be the frontrunner this season, there's a strong case to be made for Clark, especially when you consider her overall impact on her team's success. From scoring to assists to her leadership on the court, she's doing it all. And while she may not win MVP this year, it feels like only a matter of time before that trophy is hers. Before we go, I want to hear from you. What do you think of Kennedy Carter's comments now that Caitlyn Clark has silenced her doubters? Do you think Clark has a shot at MVP, or is that a few years away? And who's your pick for Rookie of the Year? Or is it a no-brainer at this point? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get a conversation going also. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future updates. We've got more WNBA coverage, sports news, and everything in between coming your way, and you won't want to miss it. Thank you, and see you in the next video.